Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you what you get for your money. This is a pretty normal hotel room. Actually, this is a bit better than average for the price, I'd say. You get a double bed or two separate beds, usually a cupboard or something with a mirror on it, and you get a tiny bathroom, which has everything you need pretty much. A bit basic sometimes with the plumbing. But yeah, it's all good. And sometimes you get a TV and a DVD player, but what really matters is whether you have AC or a fan. It's honestly, AC rocks. Usually, if you pay around 150 to 200, you get a fan, but we were pretty lucky here. We're paying 180 a night, and we get a room with AC, a TV, and it's pretty nice and clean and tidy. And you also almost always get breakfast, and that's pretty sweet. And this place is actually pretty good looking. There's a nice view from up here, and generally quite nice. Staff is always nice. I haven't had staff treating us badly, but I guess we've picked out the best places from booking.com probably, but I don't know, might be different. Oh yeah, and things I forgot to mention yesterday. One of the things you'll notice is people constantly honk their horns at you or at each other, and generally it's not really thought of in the same way that we use it, because in Denmark it's only if you do something bad then someone honks their horn at you, but here it's more like a warning, or if they're looking out for you, because if they can see, okay, if you don't move, I'm gonna crash into you, then they just give you a honk, or even if there's just a slight chance that that might happen, they still do it, or just to make you aware that they're there, actually. And if they're turning around tight corners, because you have lots of them around here, often they'll honk their horn just before going around. Other than that, I forgot to talk about areas. Generally, if you want to experience culture, from where we've been, Ubud was probably the best place to go. It's not as touristy. Well, lots of tourists go there, but the sellers won't attack you as much. They'll leave you alone a little bit. Of course, they'll ask you, come buy my stuff, and you'll just say no. They're not going to grab a hold of you, which has happened quite a bit around Kuta, actually. Yeah, well, I've tried I've tried a bit of, yeah, well, I have a bit of bad experience with that kind of stuff. Guys coming up to you, slapping you in the ass and saying, "Ah, you want to buy this, buy that," and they grab a hold of your shoulder, grab onto your arm, give you a high five or handshake or something, and they'll grab a hold of your hand afterwards and pull you into my shop and looking free, look free, look free, look, and they'll keep on like trying to hassle you until you buy whatever. But yeah, so that's not as great. I heard Simniak was pretty bad for it. We didn't actually go there, which is a shame, I guess, but yeah, we just heard it was bad for sellers in general, and we wanted to go to Kuta or Nusa Dua instead. Um, but yeah, Ubud was not that bad when it comes to people trying to sell you junk. It was actually alright. Probably the best place we went to. Nusa Dua wasn't as bad either, but Kuta area and probably Samyak as well was pretty bad. But still a perfectly nice place to be. Just be aware that people will constantly try to sell you stuff. Pretty much anywhere you go, but it's a bit more extreme here. And so yeah, Ubud is good for the culture, and if you're into water sports, they do all kinds of stuff down at Nusa Dua. Like they'll put you up in a parachute behind a boat, and often you'll see 10, 15 guys in the air at the same time, and they're doing that for 5, 6 hours a day. And you can go out on a banana boat, you can go jet skiing, you can go on this kind of kite inflatable thing behind a boat that sort of gets dragged along and then flies like a kite, and you can be on the back of it, and that looks pretty awesome. And fishing, big game fishing, coral fishing, and there's just tons of stuff that you can do. Diving, we did diving at Nusa Dua as well. That was pretty good. The water's a little bit more murky than when we went diving at Gili Trawangan, but it's still really great. More coral, I'd say. Different types of coral. Maybe just because there's a bit more nutrients in the water. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to go clubbing, Kuta is also really good. And we went to Gili Trawangan and the Gili Islands, but definitely Gili Trawangan is a really great place to go. They have no cars there and no scooters or mopeds. So it's just all walking or biking or taking the horse taxi. So yeah, I thought that was a really good place to go, and I definitely recommend people going there. Lots of really good restaurants. Quite a lot of them are really cheap, some very expensive, but you just gotta pick out the right ones. And you also, every time you look at a menu card, you always gotta look for the little thing that says tax and service charge, because tax charge can be up to 20%, and the service charge I've seen as bad as 25. So if they're saying, okay, this thing is 100,000 rupiah, and you might have to add another 50% to that. That's the worst case scenario. I haven't seen it that bad actually, but yeah, generally that. And one more thing. Hvad var det for nogle ting, jeg vil sige, Christine? I have? Okay, well that's it. Good. And today we're heading off for Hong Kong, so we're gonna grab a cab in about 40 minutes. So sweet. Laters.